Okay, here we are today, and what is today? This is actually Sunday, October 30th, 2022, and we're in Bangkok, Thailand at their auto auction. Now, unlike many auto auctions, this auction is actually available to the public, so you can just come on in and look at the vehicles. Now obviously if you're going to officially bid on a vehicle, they want to make sure that you have the resources to pay for it. But here, this is open to both dealers and to private individuals. And it may be that a lot of, quote, private individuals are used car dealers. Well, here, what are we looking at? This is a 2013 Toyota Fortuner. This is a very popular SUV in Thailand. And this has a 4-cylinder, 3-liter turbocharged diesel engine. And let's just take a quick look here in the engine compartment. One of the things that I'm real concerned about here in Thailand is the ability to ford. And what do I mean by that? Be able to drive safely through high water. And what's happening is the air intake for the air cleaner is coming from a compartment in the upper section of the fender. So up here in this cavity, this is where the air intake is. So it's going to be very resistant to high water. So I should be able to safely come up pretty well to the top of the wheel. And that's very important in Bangkok, Thailand. Does it flood in Bangkok? It's an annual event, usually numerous times. So you'll be called upon with your motor vehicle to ford water probably anywhere from 3, 4, 5, 6 inches all the way up to 3 feet. And boy, when you get that deep, you want to think about it, otherwise we'll just lose the vehicle. But anyway, here's our air cleaner, a very large, elaborate one, and part of this is to dampen the sound, but also to provide protection with lots of dust and particulates. Here we see our anti-lock brake module, valve body assembly, and electric motor. And here we see the master cylinder and its vacuum brake booster. Now obviously this is a diesel engine, so I'm going to have a vacuum pump. And here we see our vacuum sensor to let us know that something's wrong with the vacuum available for power assist from my power brakes. Now, of course, we're in Thailand and the steering wheel is over on the right-hand side. So all of the vehicles built for the Thai market, the steering wheel is over on the right-hand side, just like Britain and Japan. All right, let's take a look. Let's come over here and take a look at our turbocharger. Here we see our turbocharger assembly, and we see the inlet there to the compressor housing. This is actually going to be my bypass right here. And is that the bypass or the wastegate? So that is going to be my wastegate. So here I have a electric motor driven wastegate to control the turbocharger boost. And here comes our exhaust manifold there off our 4-cylinder engine. Now this is the aftercooler right here. Obviously when I compress the air within the compressor section of the turbocharger, it's going to be heated, and to bring that density within a reasonable value, I need to get the temperature down, and so I'm going to have some type of aftercooler, and that's going to be an air-to-air aftercooler. And here I do have what looks like a EGR cooler, so exhaust gas recirculation. One thing about Thailand is they're very lax there with oxides of nitrogen emissions and particulates. So you'll notice that I don't have a diesel emissions fluid, I do not have a selective reduction catalyst, I do not have a particulate filter. I don't have anything like that here that you see on exhaust after treatment there for the US market. Here in Thailand it's very straightforward. Now, however, I do have to mention that this diesel engine is very quiet and is very strong, and I don't see a lot of smoke coming from the tailpipe. And here in Thailand, the temperature really doesn't drop much below 80 degrees ever, so cold start and drive away is really not much of a problem. So there we see our starter motor, and there we see our oil filter. And This is obviously going to be a common rail injection system, and there is my high pressure pump. So this is the high pressure fuel pump. It's going to boost the fuel pressure way up. It's several thousand pounds. Here I have my fuel filter water separator. So this is apparently my primary fuel filter, and I guess my secondary also, because it's going right there to the inlet of my high pressure pump. And there we see the lines going back to the fuel tank, and I have a supply and a return. So I suspect I have an electric pump back at the fuel tank that's supplying fuel to the filter housing here in the engine compartment, and then on its way to the high pressure injection pump. And I'm sure they have a means with which I can quickly purge air from it there if I need to after servicing the filter or inspecting it. And of course our battery, also important with a diesel engine, power steering reservoir. There we see our coolant. I want to call it a coolant reservoir because it does look like it is indeed pressurized. I do have a pressure cap, and I'm going right to the top tank of the radiator. So now I'm going to guess that's my vacuum pump right up there in front. So Toyota does a good job with engine layout and is known for its reliability and longevity. Thailand is certainly a popular place for Toyota's products. We have both Lexus and Toyota, and there we see our Denso AC compressor up there at top of the engine compartment. And we have a single serpentine belt, which looks like it's driving the alternator and the AC compressor, and there's our water pump. And we do have a conventional viscous style fan that's driven directly off the pulley for the water pump. Alright, so here's our 2013 Toyota Fortuner 4-cylinder diesel engine, 3-liter. This is an auction car. It looks like it's been fairly well detailed. One thing about a used car, detail is everything. It needs to be absolutely spotless. Let's take a look inside the vehicle just for a moment. Cleanliness is everything here. Obviously these are high quality seats. It looks like there's actually a leather type material. Obviously this vehicle is a used vehicle, and what is it coming in at? It's coming in at about 40,000 baht. Or I'm sorry, 400,000 baht. Now how much is that? Well, we divide the 400,000 by 13.5. I'm going to use that as my exchange rate. 13.5 baht to the dollar. I think it might be a little better than that actually, but that's going to give us about $11,500. So that's how much this vehicle is costing. And that's not unreasonable. 2013, I'm sure the mileage is high. Its grade is C2 in their grading system, so it's a little rough, but certainly a serviceable vehicle.